Gentlemen, the man of the hour is here, Mr. Lamar Louis, former NFL linebacker, former LSU linebacker. Lamar, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. I hope all is well, and I'm sorry for my tardiness. Had an unexpected accident, but everything's well.
Give us a little backstory of where you're from and where you grew up at and what really drew you into football.
Okay, well, I'm from a small town called Bridge, Louisiana. It's the crawfish capital of the world. Under 10,000 people. Actually, my first love was baseball, and I eventually, started to play football because I was bigger and faster than most kids my age. And once I started playing football, it just took off from there. And everything I do, I want to be the best. So my dream since then has been to make it to the NFL, and that's pretty much how it started.
Okay, so what was your initial thought when you got the word of being a football player to go play for the LSU Tigers?
It was exciting, man. It felt like a lifelong dream and goal accomplished. If I had a bucket list when I was younger, it's definitely probably top three on the bucket list to actually be able to play for the Tigers. I'm from Louisiana. I'm 45 minutes away from Baton Rouge. And growing up, you always dream and imagine yourself playing for LSU, and that atmosphere is just crazy, man. So it was just kind of like mission accomplished for me.
Hey, what was your, I guess your biggest rival? I mean, like I know there's like Florida and
Right.
Texas A&M and stuff. Like, what was the one team that you look forward to facing off every year?
Oh, Alabama for sure.
Yeah.
Alabama was the team where you want to put your best foot forward. The team that's probably going to be the toughest game every year. The team you want to make a statement on. It was definitely Alabama.
So after your tenure with LSU, you wound up going into the NFL for a little bit. You played for Arizona. You had a stint with Baltimore and Dallas. So my question is, what was the preparation like for a week-to-week basis, and what was the difference between the NFL and going to like LSU?
Well, the biggest difference is it's more of a mental game in the NFL than physical. College is more physical than mental. I mean, if you could outsmart your opponent and know what they're going to do before they do it in the NFL, you're probably going to win. So it's a game of chess versus college is more of checkers. So when you're preparing for a game in the NFL, you may have one hard day of with pads and everything, maybe two, but that's it. And you have to protect your body, man. You have to protect your veterans because there are some guys who've been playing for 20 plus years, like from little league and whatnot. And football is 100% injury rate sport. So you got to be more mental and smart when you're playing in the NFL. A lot of film, a lot of days in the film room, and just talking to coaches, talking to players, but not so much contact.
You probably played the NCAA series back in the day. And obviously, Madden has been around for years. With Maximum Football set to release soon, what is your take on other football games now coming to the market?
I'll take as many football games as we can, because Madden is Madden. No knock to those guys, but I feel like there's more room for voices of the people who are actually playing. I think there's more room for more creative creators, I guess, to be making these games. And as I said, actually, listening to the community and whatnot. That's how 2K started, man. Just kind of being a little different. Starting off listening to the community, giving us what we want. I'm all for it. I'm all for new games and new people being creative and actually giving them that chance.
So, I mean, speaking of other games out there, like I used to play NFL Street back in the day. Like, what was some of the games that you used to rock?
NFL Street for sure, and playing that, but NFL Street was the game, man, as well as NBA Street.
Oh yeah, those were my things. The NBA Jam,
Right.
things like that. NFL Blitz, and with the 2K, I can speculate that is pretty much coming down in the next year or so too.
Right.
What are your thoughts about this?
Like I said before, I just think that the community needs a bigger voice. At the same time, from a business aspect, they know where their money is coming from. I don't know personally, but they know where their money is coming from. So if we could come together with a happy medium, what the people want, the companies want, I think it'll be a lot better. People are going to buy Madden, man. It doesn't matter. It's a tough situation until the community takes a stand and these companies start taking hits. I can't see anything changing too much. The only thing I can see changing is newer, younger companies coming into the fold and trying to make a push.
What is your thoughts of the new Doug Flutie Maximum Football 2020 coming out?
I mean, it's another game, man. It's another option. Something that's far and few. It's guys. I actually got an opportunity to speak with some of the creators. It's guys who have a passion for the game. It has guys who have a passion for the community. So anytime you have that, I'm on board with it 100%, because we want options, man. And I pray and hope that more options become available in the future.
Maximum Football coming out with the Sim League. You have the opportunity to actually be a recruit, a player, a coach, or an owner in this Sim League. So my question for you, Lamar, is if you were to go back to being a player, would you choose to mirror your style of being a linebacker, or would you try to experiment in different positions?
But I'm a big D line guy, man. Actually, like I love perfecting the D line, because if I can get to the quarterback and disrupt passes like crazy, I can get that pressure and win a lot of games. I think a lot of people disregard the art of really learning that position and getting it down pat.
You actually understand a little bit more of the position and the fine tuning of a detail of what like even a point guard or a center would do. Where in NFL, you kind of learn more of, okay, this is how a quarterback is supposed to react, how a running back is supposed to run a route, things like that. So that's definitely big. With that being said, I have the honor and privilege announcing to you and everyone at home right now that we here at MGN Sports are now making the Linebacker of the Year award the Lamar Louis Award for the most outstanding linebacker. What is your thoughts of this prestigious moment?
I had no idea for one, but hey, man, I'm all for it, man. That's an honor. I appreciate it. I really appreciate that, man. I don't think I've ever had an award as such.
What would a player contending for the Lamar Louis Award have to accomplish to order to win this Maximum Football Simulation League?
I mean, you got to produce, man. It's all about production. I like to, consider myself a fast, speedy linebacker, which most people like to use, or a fast, speedy linebacker. But a motor, man. Being able to run sideline to sideline, make tackles, to be able to actually look like a DB, like a safety on the field, but also be able to come down like a rush in, man. To be a linebacker, you have to be really versatile. So you're probably be the most versatile position on the field, especially in this day and age, man, because linebackers are running 4.3s now.
Right.
Especially middle linebackers. So I would probably say it's more of the most versatile player on the defense award. So I would put it in that category, man. If you're getting interceptions, you're getting tackles, PBUs, you're calling the defense, man, that's a versatile player. So I would just say you would have to be as versatile as possible.
Let's kind of get into some personal aspect. Like, what are you up to now personally? What are you doing post-pandemic? And, how are you?
Well, right now, I'm a physical ed teacher. Work with kids, young kids. I'm a trainer, so I train guys, for the draft, or guys just in general training. And I also own a landscaping business in South Florida. So I got a lot going on, man. I'm doing well. Have a few business ventures and whatnot. So just laying low, trying to put my best foot forward.
Okay, so here's another little question that kind of ties into going back a little bit. Would you ever continue a career going for the NFL, or in this case, with the XFL coming?
I thought about it. Honestly, I've thought about it. It'll just be tough, man. Once you settle down, you start a family, you start businesses. It's tough, man. Especially if you've already been in the business and you know how much of a business it really is. It's tough, especially being undersized and going undrafted, you're expendable. You don't sign big and long contracts. You have pretty much a day-to-day contract. So you have to produce day by day by day. And if you get hurt, you get cut. The NFL is fun, man, but it's dog eat dog for sure. So can I say completely no? No, I can't say that. Definitely thought about it, and we would just have to see.
How much of a gamer are you? What is your favorite games to play? Like what system?
I'm a huge gamer, man. I'm on Xbox. I had dreams of having both systems this year, but they're holding out on these prices, and it's ticking me off. My favorite game right now is definitely 2K. Matter of fact, I'm after this interview's over, I'm gonna be on 2K.
Oh,
Yeah. So I love shooters, Call of Duty, of course. Play a lot, man. I'm waiting to get on the Avengers game. I have that ready to go. I play a lot of games, man. One game that really I started no lifing and I had to delete because it took like all of my life was Ark. Started
Ark.
playing Ark and I almost lost my house and my wife.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah, because everything was about Ark, man. That's dangerous. If any of you have ever played Ark, you know, you have no life.
Okay, so he says, what's more rewarding, waiting all day for a good kill in the deer stand, because you are a hunter, I do believe,
Mhm.
or making that perfect hit in football?
Oh, it's definitely the kill, hunting for sure. Yeah, I can go 2 years and not see a deer.
Yeah, come up to Michigan, dude. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and my neighbors are literally Amish and deer. So, all right. So going back into the personal stuff right now, obviously, with all the stuff going out in the world, what is your take on this whole Black Lives Matter movement? What what can you say to the community out there about it?
Right, man. There's a lot I can say. We can talk about it for hours and hours. I'm one of those I speak my mind. And I try to be as level-headed as possible. The movement, I believe in the movement 100%. I believe there needs to be a disconnect between the movement and the actual organization because there's a lot of people are putting them in one lump sum. Like anything that happens is it's tagged BLM, and that's just not the case. There's the organization and there's the movement, so there needs to be a disconnect from the two. I mean, to put it simply, man, there is a lot of unjust things happening, to certain people in America, right now, and it's not fair, and people are tired. I mean, people are tired, and it's starting to become more blatant and in your face, and you feel helpless, because it's like this is what we're doing, this is the direction we're going in, and there's nothing you can do about it. So all I can do as a black man is teach my kids how they are viewed in America. Mind you, I'm highly blessed to be an American, but it's because I love America so much that I want America to be as great as it should be. Because right now we aren't, and that's not a political statement at all. That's just how I feel. I gotta teach. If I have young boys, I have to teach them, man, that certain things you can't do. Your white friend may be able to get away with that, but you can't get away with that. You can't go walking in these nice neighborhoods with your hoodie on, and the sun's going down. You just can't do it
Yeah.
because you're going to be profiled. I mean, even myself, man. I'm at the gas station at night. I walk. I'm a big black guy with dreads. People block their doors, man. And it's like, I don't know, man. I live in a nice neighborhood, I have a nice home, and people look at me like, if I forget my clicker, and I'm trying to get in the gate, they look at me stupid, and I'm like, I live here.
Right.
My cousin tried to come visit me one day, and this lady followed him to my steps and said she would call the cops, and I'm just like, it blows my mind.
Right.
It's like, I mean, I'm an African American. I can make money. I can live in a nice neighborhood. I could be respectful. I mean, I should be seen as your equal, but we aren't. I mean, we've never um have been seen as equal, but it appears that um people are starting to wake up. which is awesome. You know, people are starting to understand and listen, but at the same time, that's being combated with people who really just don't care. People who understand, and I don't know, man. They just are filled with hate and bigotry, and it's sad. But I would rather know where you stand than not know. So it's a problem. It's a tough pill to swallow, man. But like I said, I'm from a small town in the South. I've lived through it my whole life, and because the African Americans have been so silent and kind of numb to it, now that we're finally, speaking out and having courage, it's a shock. It's a shock to the nation. It's a shock to the culture. So it's like, what are you talking about? And I mean, if you really dig deep, you really do research, you really look at numbers, and you listen to us, you'll understand what we're talking about. But if you don't listen, and if you're listening to debate or to argue, you'll never get it. So it's definitely a big problem that we're having right now, man. And I hope that we can fix it, man, with reforms, with laws, because you can't change people's hearts. That's not going to happen. But you can change the way they act with certain laws that can be put into place.
You coming open and everything else like that here on this interview, like I'm grateful. I am appreciative of it. So I'm glad that you did speak. Thank you so much. Any final words, Lamar?
Oh, man. Peace and love, man. Peace and love. God bless everyone.